Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be back, and we're excited about the privilege to meet. And this afternoon, we want to go to the book of Matthew, Matthew chapter number 4. We want to read from verses 8 to 11, and this is right smack in the middle of where Jesus is having an encounter with the devil, what we know as the temptations of Jesus. And the third one is when he begins to talk about this. Again, the devil took him up to an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, all these I will give you if you will fall down and worship me. Then Jesus said to him, away with you, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve. Then the devil left him, and behold, the angels came and ministered to him. Now, we've been looking at worship for this month, and we've been talking about worship being a journey, with worship becoming a bureau of exchange. We're looking at worship as your service pipeline. We're also looking at worship as never devoid of your internal and personal involvement, and not just the acts that you do. And also, you come to worship in addition to serving. Whoever you worship, you would have to serve. And today we are also adding that there is a pathway for worship. So here we see an offer being made to Jesus that if you would if you would worship me, if you will bow down and worship me, then this is the offer on the table. Now, it's obvious that the rebuttal that Jesus quotes back to Satan, it's clear that there is always a pathway of worship that leads you beyond the act or the engagement of worship. Now, worship is seen here as a submission, uh, acquiescing, a complete yielding to the authority of who you are worshiping, hence giving you the privilege to be able to receive from and to become a representation of. So, what Satan was offering was, listen, if you would worship me, then you qualify to become a recipient of the things that are mine. Now, God already is scheduled you and I to receive massively from Him. And we have to know the offers that God has made us. We have to know the pathway that our worship brings us to, the things that accrue to us as part of our worship, or else anyone else can offer you a substitute and then you would be switched. But I believe from today that every one of us would begin to look into the things that are due you as you worship God, the things that God promises and is made clear as part of the journey of our worship. So, for example, in Exodus 23:25, he says, so you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water. So you serve, and he blesses. And he says that I will take sicknesses away from the midst of you. So there is no serving of God that does not come with the added blessing. This becomes part of some of the details that you and I ought to be aware of, so that no one can offer us anything less. And for those of us that have been in the process of worshiping Him in spirit and in truth, those of us who are aware of submitting ourselves and lending everything we have to God. Our bodies are a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Him, which has become our reasonable act of worship. That we would see it not something that we do for nothing, but see it as something that God Himself wants to bless us. Remember, God operates a reward system. He says that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So as you engage in worshiping him personally and in the activities of your worship, in your submitting to him, in your bowing to him, in your prostrating to him, in aligning to him, what you're doing is getting yourself ready to receive, to become an extension of God, to become a representation of God. And may this bureau of exchange that is part of the protocols of our worship, may you be a participant of. And may the blessing that God has scheduled for you, may you never be denied. I pray that the blessing in knowing who you worship and what your worship entails becomes your portion. And let all the benefits become evident. And may you be a source and a pointer of many to the God that you serve. God bless you. Have a phenomenal rest of the week. And I look forward to the testimonies. Serve God in your constituents and be a worshiper of the Almighty God. And may others follow